Ladies and gentlemen, I've got an incredible video for you today. This is going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to making this one. I smiled the entire time that I heard this little piece of audio and video that I'm going to be playing for you in this video. Just wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be looking at Jim Cramer, who has recently admitted that Bitcoin is the future. This is a man who's talked about selling Bitcoin, getting rid of it, talking about it was junk, it wasn't no good. And on occasional bull markets, he would say, oh, Bitcoin might be a good tool for some people who are looking to speculate. The other times even this past year, he's recommended people buy gold and silver and not Bitcoin. Very recently, he's come out and he said, you can't stop it. Bitcoin is unstoppable. This is the future. And he also says something very interesting about the SEC as well. What we're going to do now is I want to touch on the cryptocurrency price, look at where Bitcoin's at and why. And I want to give you a bit of a warning just to be careful for because the price has pumped. So you always got to be a little bit careful for that. I'll talk about that in this video. Also want to look at a little bit of Jim Cramer's background and his actual track record because he's pretty famous. I think a lot of people assume he's really good at what he does, which is make financial predictions. But we're going to look at his actual track record as well. And then we're going to look at some of the things that he's actually said about cryptocurrency in the past, show you evidence. And then we're going to look at what he's currently saying. And he is singing a totally different tune. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you like this video and you'll smash that like button. But if not, then stay tuned. Let me get to the end of the video and hopefully by then I will have earned your like. All right, so first things first, the Bitcoin price is up. And you need to be very, very careful anytime you see a little bit of a pullback like this. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, the Bitcoin ETF is coming out. The Bitcoin ETF is coming out. And there was a rumor on Twitter that the price pumped. I mean, it pumped hard just within a few hours, like 5 or 6% within a few hours. And people were saying, hey, there's a rumor leaked that the Bitcoin ETF is getting announced tomorrow. That obviously hasn't happened yet. You've got to be careful when you see big price movements because people will oftentimes try to say, why is the price moving? Somebody will give speculation and that creates a rumor. And we don't know if the speculation is real, there's some sort of evidence backing it up, or if somebody's just coming up with a reason out of the top of their head. Oh, the big whales are buying. That must mean they've got advance notice. And that might not be accurate at all. But here's what is accurate. Anytime you see a price pump 5 or 6% in the crypto space, it is not shocking if the next day you end up seeing a price pullback sometimes. And this is why. The biggest whales in crypto aren't investing $100 or $1,000 or even $10,000. They've got $1 million, 500,000, 2 million or more. And for those guys, they're not trying to take their million and turn it into 5 or 10 million like some people are as they're investing in the next meme coin. Those guys are looking to make 10% on their money over the course of a year, 20%, 30%. They're trying to turn their million into 1.3 million, for example. Well, when they see a quick 5 or 6% move, it's not about how much higher can it go. It's about locking in some profits before the market pulls back, as we see right here. I mean, the market's already pulling back. They've lost a percentage point. A percentage point on $1 million, $10,000. So you've got to be very, very careful. They don't want to lose $10,000. Keep in mind, we're in some very exciting times right now. There's news on the horizon of a Bitcoin ETF. I gave my prediction. I'll put that video down in the description, or I'll put it above in the card as well. I gave my prediction on when I thought that Bitcoin ETF news would get released, when it would finally get approval. I do believe it's going to get approval. So just be on the lookout for that. But at the same time, when this market moves, if you're not already in, don't get in just because there's a spike in price. That's the wrong time to move. Investors who buy high and sell low always lose money. And by the way, that's most investors. So anytime you see an expert who's recommending that you buy because the price is pumped, be nervous about that. I'll show you proof of that. Let's go ahead and get into Jim Cramer. Let's look at his past, because Jim Cramer, some of you don't know this, supposedly he had a very successful career as a hedge fund manager. The guy over like a 12-year period was supposed to be getting like 21% returns average over 12 years. That's a heck of a track record as a hedge fund manager. So when he comes to CNBC, when he first got onto the scene, a lot of people just assumed this guy is going to be great. He's going to call out stocks on a major financial network. He must know what he's talking about. He's making stock picks and he's bullish on this. He's bearish on that. He literally tells people to sell this stock or to buy this stock, which is crazy, by the way. It is absolutely crazy because those of us on YouTube, we can't do that legally, yet somehow he can get away with it. And when he gets away with it, it would be fine if he was right. But take a look at this. This website is looked at his picks since 2021. Every 30 days, they look at his most bullish, his most bearish investments. And they do the exact opposite. Look at this chart. starting out with 100 million. I think this is paper trading, but it's just to make a point. $100 million all the way over here to right here, 180 million. They've made an 80% return in 3 years. The past year was a 17% return. The compound annual growth rate, which is what that stands for, is 21.92%. Essentially, they've been able to earn the same rate that Cramer was earning on his hedge fund by doing the exact opposite of what he's telling people to do on CNBC. Ladies and gentlemen, I find that shockingly ironic. And listen, this isn't against Jim Cramer. I don't know him personally. We're just looking at his track record. We're looking at the stats and the data. This is not a personal attack against Jim Cramer. I've never met the guy. I don't know him personally. I'm just going to assume he's very intelligent, but his track record on television is abysmal at best. In fact, if you go look at what he was saying about crypto back 2 years ago, Jim Cramer says he sold almost all of his Bitcoin after China's crypto crackdown. Many of us remember that day. The market pulled back about 5% in a day. 5%. That's nothing for crypto. 5%. Guess what? The next day it rebounded. It rebounded. Jim Cramer literally sold when the market dropped and most likely bought back at a higher price at some point in the future. Most likely. I don't know that for certain. But if you believe long-term in crypto, we understand the market literally can drop 80, 90% over, several months. Many of us saw the China crackdown coming. If you were reading the crypto headlines, like you sort of knew that was a possibility. Just like with everything the SEC is doing right now, like it's a possibility we get some incredibly stringent regulations in the future of crypto. Many of us know that. But without those regulations, I believe the price of Bitcoin for 2024 is going to potentially skyrocket. And it's not just because of the Bitcoin ETF, just so you know, my personal opinion only. In fact, one of my next videos I'm going to talk about why I think the Bitcoin price is going to I think it's going to do phenomenal in 2024. I'm going to tell you what I think it's going to do. We're going to be talking about that, so don't miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, crypto is here to stay, in my personal opinion. It's not going anywhere. I didn't need Jim Cramer to tell me that. But we'll look at what he said. But first, let's look back here. So just this past year, 11 months ago, he was recommending that people stick with gold and silver. Ignore the crypto cheerleaders. People like myself, which I hate to say that I'm a crypto cheerleader, but I am because I believe in it long term. I believe in what it can do. I believe the reason crypto is going to succeed is not because there's an ETF. The reason crypto is going to succeed because the use case of crypto allows you and me to be able to have economic freedom, potentially information freedom if we end up getting a decentralized internet, which I'm looking forward to see that. And if the price goes up, then of course there's some financial freedom as well. But economic freedom is the big thing, being able to transact and being able to make purchases without needing somebody to give us permission whether we can buy or sell something. We're having to pay fees through traditional finance. Ladies and gentlemen, cryptocurrency is here to stay. No question about it. And Jim Cramer has finally admitted it. Let's take a listen to this right here. This is going to be awesome. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my framework for investing in crypto and sort of what I look at. I'll give you that here in a moment. So let's watch this.
Yeah, we got that clearing event of Sam Bankman-Fried going down, and that seemed to make people feel, you know what, we're safe. And then the ETF.
We continue to wait
endless
for the ETF.
Right. And look, it's very rare that I've ever seen that this way. Could it be a waiting for Godot? I mean, no, but there won't be an ETF.
He says that his prediction is, without question, there will be an ETF, and I agree with him.
But I do think that the people who are in it for that are going to use that as a chance to sell. But this thing is...
Pay attention to what he said, because I actually agree with that as well. And I was saying that a little bit over here. He said people who are getting in, just because, listen, there's big money getting in here. Remember the whales. They're only looking to make, in a single trade, 1, 2, 3, 4%. So they can make 5%, 6%, 7% in a trade, meaning there's short-term traders are in and out. They may be playing this thing, waiting for that ETF announcement. They may have bought back here. In fact, they may have been dollar cost averaging over here, just waiting inside the month. For them to be able to make 10%, 5%, 3%, in a single trade inside of a month is a great trade. Some of them may have already gotten out, but some of them may be waiting for that announcement. When that announcement comes, they're going to insta-sell some of them. And when that happens, the market will start to pull back. And then smaller investors will sometimes get nervous because they bought right here. They bought the other day. When they saw the price yesterday spike 5%, 6%, people were buying. And that's human nature. Human nature buys when the price goes up. But that's how you lose, is buying just because the price goes up. Fun fact, when I sell crypto, I typically like to sell on a red day, even if it's 1%, 2%, 3%, because it's just sort of my rule of thumb to try to prevent me from selling on green days when the price is moving forward. So I make certain I try to sell on a red day if I need to make like a sale to reallocate things in my portfolio. But that's just me. So I do agree that it's likely people are going to start taking profits. So be careful for that, ladies and gentlemen. This is where he says it right here. He finally admits what he's never admitted before.
Are going to use that as a chance to sell. But this thing is, you can't kill it.
You can't kill it. This thing, referring to Bitcoin. This thing, you can't kill it.
No, can't. And the late Charlie Munger, who was so brilliant on so many things, was blind to this.
Let's take a look at this. Charlie Munger, who is a very successful financial investor for Berkshire Hathaway, the partner and second in command of Warren Buffett, recently passed away in 2023, and he was anti-crypto. And now Jim Cramer is saying that was one financial expert that was wrong. So Jim Cramer is essentially saying, I was wrong. And by the way, the news anchor here, who's a financial news anchor, who positions himself as if he's an expert, is also saying, I agree, you can't stop it. He said it right here.
Ooh, can't. And you can't kill it.
Listen.
No, can't.
He said, no, you can't. So right there, so far, we have 3 financial experts saying Bitcoin, you can't kill it. It's here to stay. Bitcoin's a future, essentially.
Jamie Dimon has not spared any negative words.
No.
Jamie Dimon is the CEO of Chase Bank. Here's a YouTube video where he was talking about government should close down crypto. You could not get more mainstream finance than someone like Jamie Dimon. So another financial expert. What are we up to? 4 now? 4 financial experts that have been wrong about crypto up to this point. We've got Jim Cramer saying exactly that.
No, but look, I mean, it's a reality and it's a technological marvel, and
it's a technological marvel. Jim Cramer is saying this, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. When many of us started investing in 2016, 2017, nobody in mainstream would have said crypto is a technological marvel. I've said it on my YouTube channel almost from the beginning. Many other crypto YouTubers have said it as well. Now we have mainstream people saying, like Jim Cramer, crypto is a technological marvel.
I think people have to start recognizing that it's here to stay. The SEC's been against it almost the whole time.
Another so-called financial expert, the SEC, or experts, the SEC, they've been against it the whole time. And it's here to stay. Did you catch that? They have to recognize it is here to stay.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that every one of these is here to stay, but I do think that this is a remarkable comeback that was unexpected, except for...
Unexpected by who? Unexpected by these guys. Not unexpected by me, not unexpected by many of you. Unexpected by the mainstream finance who wanted to be able to take control. Here's what's so incredible about crypto. They cannot stop it. They're finally forced to admit that Bitcoin, that crypto is the future. Now, he said they're not going to all succeed. So he's essentially, and I agree with that, obviously. We've seen cryptos come and go and rug pulls and all that stuff. That really does happen. So obviously they're not here all going to stay. Not every business is successful. Not every book is successful. Not every song is successful that is written. Not every crypto will be successful. But crypto as a whole is here to stay.
For all the bulls who have turned out to be right.
Gensler does a lot of jawboning.
Didn't work.
A lot of jawboning.
Gensler, another financial expert, did a lot of jawboning and it didn't work. He's been talking it down, and he's going to be forced, in my opinion, most likely to approve a Bitcoin ETF. We'll see if it happens. There's a possibility it doesn't, but I think it's going to happen. If you had to make me decide, I think it's going to happen, and I believe I know what date it's going to happen on. Now let's talk about frameworks a little bit, because I believe in crypto, you have to have an underlying thesis. Do you believe in Bitcoin? Do you believe in Ethereum? Do you believe in them both? Do you believe in XRP? Do you believe in Cardano? What do you believe in and why? And it's okay if your opinions are different than mine, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, we're on team crypto at the end of the day. If you don't believe in crypto or you don't understand it, then I would recommend that either you educate yourself on it or get out of it, because it is an incredibly, incredibly volatile sector. So you have to say, what is my underlying thesis and what do I think is going to do well? When I say underlying thesis, it means what in the short term price is going to go up or down. Listen, we may get a Bitcoin ETF and price will pump. We may get a Bitcoin ETF and price pulls back. We might not get a Bitcoin ETF and price goes up. Sometimes the short term price movement makes no sense, and that's okay as long as your underlying belief and your conviction, your underlying belief is still intact. So you need to have some sort of underlying thesis. Now here's another thing. What is your overall framework? What sectors are you focusing on and where are you diversifying? Now, one of the big diversifications for me is being able to earn passive income in cryptocurrency. I want to have as many streams, at least 3 to 5 really stable streams, but I want as many stable. And when I say stable, we're saying something that can earn passively over weeks, months, and hopefully years. And we want to be able to earn as much passive income as various places as we can. The challenge is you have to educate yourself on each and every stream. Now, I have one stream that I'm working on right now where I'm copy trading, and I have an entire strategy to be able to earn at least $1,000 a month. The truth is, I'm projected this month to be able to earn over $1,600 based on some projections that I made towards the end of December. We'll see if that works. I'll keep you posted on whether that actually works or not. But if you want to follow my journey in copy trading and find out the exact traders I'm following, how I pick traders, you kind of get my overall plan on what I'm doing and follow my progress each month, then go down in the description and subscribe to follow my copy trading journey. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is the future. It is here to stay.